this is Naina Chabra from My IELTS Tutor. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about test. Students who are preparing for IELTS test or who want to prepare for their IELTS test, they should know in detail about what this test is about and how you're going to be assessed in this particular test. Now let's understand what is IELTS. Let's get started. What is IELTS? IELTS is an abbreviation which is used for International English Language Testing System. This test assesses your proficiency in English language through your productive and your receptive skills. If I talk about your productive skills, the productive skills are skills which you produce. It means your writing and your speaking. Receptive skills are assessed through your reading and your listening test. This test comes in two formats. One is academic and the other one is general training. Academic test is for students who want to migrate to foreign country for their study. Basically, this test assesses how student will communicate in the educational setup. While general training is for people who want to permanently migrate to a foreign country or they want to opt for some kind of work. General test basically assesses your ability to adjust or to communicate in everyday life and educational setup. Now let's talk about 4 modules. In IELTS test, you will be assessed through 4 modules. IELTS Listening. IELTS Listening, as the name suggests, in this test you will be listening to pre-recorded audio tapes. You have to solve 40 questions which are divided in 4 parts. The first and third part will be a conversation, while your second and fourth part is a monologue. If I talk about first part, it is a conversation between 2 people in day-to-day context, like booking a hotel or a holiday. While part 2 will be an orientation or induction, maybe an orientation of a new hotel. Part 3 is a conversation between more than 2 people. Now, in part 3, basically the topic are related to educational setup. For example, it could be a conversation between 2 students and a professor, or it could be a conversation among 3 students. Part 4 is generally a lecture. Now, students should be well aware about all the parts. They will be getting sufficient pauses to read the question in the listening test. IELTS Reading. IELTS reading is different for both academic and for general training students. Time duration for reading test is 60 minutes. In 60 minutes, both the students have to solve 40 questions. If I talk about academic readings are a bit lengthier. There are 3 sections and each section will be carrying single paragraph. The readings are generally taken from research paper or journal. If I talk about general training, there are 3 sections again. Section 1 and section 2 might carry 2 or 3 paragraphs, while section 3 will be having only single paragraph. General readings are taken from magazines, articles or company handouts or rules. Basically, these reading tests ability of student to understand arguments, comparisons and opinions of writers. IELTS Writing. IELTS Writing is again different for academic and general training students. There are 2 tasks given in your writing test. The total time duration for writing is 60 minutes and in 60 minutes you have to complete both the tasks. Task 1 for academic student is a report writing, in which they have to write a report in 20 minutes with the minimum word limit of 150 words. This task, student might get a graph in the form of line chart, bar chart, pie chart or a picture or a map. They have to report the main features and make comparisons. While task 1 for general training student is letter writing. Now letter could be formal or informal letter. Word limit for general training student for task 1 is 150 words. This is the minimum word limit and the time duration is again 20 minutes. Writing task 2 is essay writing for both the candidates. However, the question which they get test is different. In writing task 2, students are supposed to write an essay in the time duration of 40 minutes. The minimum word limit of writing task 2 is 250 words. Here, students are supposed to respond to a statement which is given to them in a well-structured manner. Speaking is conducted separately. It is either conducted 7 days prior the main test or 7 days after your main test, and sometimes on the day of your main test. In IELTS speaking, you have to sit for face-to-face interview with an examiner. The time duration for speaking test is approximately 11 to 14 minutes. In speaking, there are 3 parts. Examiner will start with the first part, that is introductory round. In first part, you will be asked with some introductory questions like what is your name, where do you come from, do you work or are you a student? And then he will be asked questions on wide range of topics like colors, seasons, punctuality, relaxation and many other topics from day-to-day life. Part 2. In part 2, student will be given a cue card. Cue card is a topic in which student have to speak for 2 minutes. Of course, you will be getting 1 minute to prepare on the topic. During that time, you can take your notes. These topics are in the form of situation. For example, talk about a situation when everyone was smiling. Now, student will get 1 minute to prepare on this topic and they have to speak on the topic for approximately 2 minutes. Part 3 of speaking is follow-up round. In this round, you will be asked some questions which are related to the cue card. Again, this round could be a bit argumentative. And this is the last chance for the student to prove their proficiency skills to the examiner. This was about IELTS test. I hope everyone is clear about the structure of the test and the difference between academic and general training test.